Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's another day and today I'm going to talk about what happened to me before I went for vaccination and then after I went to vaccination, what really happened to me. So if this particular video is really interesting to you, then stay tuned and listen to everything that you need to know about the vaccination against COVID. If today is your first time on this channel, you are welcome to Val Life Skills channel and kindly subscribe to my channel to enjoy more exciting videos that I upload each and every week. So you are welcome. So I vaccinated, that was on Thursday, but before Thursday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I had this strange feeling within my body. I wasn't really feeling well. I felt very cold. My throat was really dry, and when I talk, I begin to feel pain in my throat. I was coughing and I couldn't do anything. Okay, so and because I had also booked an appointment to be vaccinated, I became afraid because I thought either I was having COVID or not. But I realized that maybe it could not be COVID, but it was due to me working in the lab and inhaling too much of gas in my system. That is how come I was having sore throat and coughing each and every minute. I wasn't really feeling so well within that period, and I think that sharing this could also make you know what you should know after you've been vaccinated, so that you get yourself aware of anything that happens to you and then report to the doctor quickly as soon as possible. So in the first day, that was on before that, on Wednesday, my husband told me to go to the test center and then go and check for my status, whether I was positive or negative. And by then I thought that since it was as a result of this gas that I was inhaling, maybe it could be that. So I don't think I would have COVID. Yeah, because my body is a type of body that before I easily get sick, then it's as a result of something. But because the whole of last year, I don't remember getting sick. It was only when I was pregnant that I was feeling dizzy, headache and all those things. But apart from that, I didn't really get sick. So when this sore throat and headache was striking me down, I felt really bad and I didn't know what to do. I thought, what is really happening to me? Okay, so I had to listen to my husband. And then when I went to the test center, when I started coughing, and then when I was coughing, the personnel, that's the doctor who was testing, was like, is something really happening? Is something wrong with you? Do you have any illness? What is happening to you? Has this thing been consistent for a long period? And I said, oh no, it just started yesterday and I thought of coming to check for my status, so I really don't know what is happening to me. And then he said, okay. So there was a lady beside her, and the lady was just eyeing me, doing like this to me. I was like, right, is this lady thinking that I was having COVID? Because the way she was just giving me this high face, I was no, this was too much. And so they told me to sit for a while, and then they told me to clean my nose everywhere. I cleaned it, and then they got me prepared for the test. And then reviewed, when I tested, I was negative. And I was like, okay, yeah. Then it could be the gas I was inhaling that was causing me to have a little symptoms, which was showing that I was having COVID, but not necessarily that I'm having COVID. because sometimes you may be having cough, headache, sore throat, and other symptoms that could show that you are having COVID. But it is not necessarily that you are having COVID until you test to be sure, to know whether you have COVID or not. So once I was cleared out of my doubt that I'm not having COVID, so from there, then I went to the vaccine center. So at the vaccination center, there were a lot of questions they asked about me. First, they will ask if you have a yellow card, because that is where they are going to put your after you have been vaccinated, they'll put a sticker on it to show that you have been vaccinated. For Germany, they ask for a yellow card. I don't know whether in other countries they have a yellow card or not, but a yellow card is to show the kind of vaccinations you have gone through from birth, or the kind of vaccinations you have gone through anyhow, the kind of vaccinations that you have really taken. That is just a booklet. So if you don't have it, then after your vaccination, they'll give you a sheet, and that sheet you can now take it to the hospital, and then you can now request for a yellow card, and then you can stamp on it that you have been vaccinated. So before I was vaccinated, they asked me a few questions. One, was I having fever? I knew I was having fever, but this type of fever was not really COVID, and I know that my body was not really showing that kind of system. So fine, I didn't really disclose that. So they asked me, are you having fever? Are you coughing? Are you having headaches? Do you have any allergies? Or are you pregnant? Are you breastfeeding? A lot of questions was asked during that period, and I needed to answer all these questions for them to proceed to the vaccination. And bear in mind that if you answer these questions and you mention one of them as yes, it means that there is a need for them to have a critical look into your issue and see how best they can help you with this particular one, especially if you are pregnant and you are breastfeeding, then you are not really allowed at all, because pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers are not allowed to be vaccinated. That I don't know about it, but it's not allowed when you are vaccinated, you are pregnant or you are breastfeeding. By then, that was the period that I had stopped breastfeeding my baby. I had stopped breastfeeding my baby about a month ago, so that was why I decided to take the opportunity to really go and vaccinate myself against this disease. So after answering all these questions, no, and then I got to the doctor, and then they asked me if I have any other questions to ask them. I said, oh no, I don't have any questions to ask them. And then they injected me the vaccine. So when they injected me the vaccine, they told me to wait for 15 minutes to see the reactions on my system, whether it will react to my body or make me feel dizzy or show some symptoms that will make me not to be fit at that time. So I sat for 15 minutes, and then I realized, okay, my body was okay, and I wasn't feeling any headache, or I wasn't sweating, or I wasn't having any strange symptoms. And so I decided to just go home. So I packed my things and then went back home. But when I arrived home, hey, there I knew that sometimes after they inject you the vaccine, you will not feel that pain or any kind of symptoms at that instant. But after an hour or 2 hours, there you now feel a little bit of headache, a little bit of heat on you. You will not even be able to sleep. Like, this all depends on the kind of body system you have, okay? To someone you may not experience any of these things, but to another person you may experience headaches, you may experience sore throats, you may experience pains all over your body. this doesn't mean that you would also experience the same thing that someone is also experiencing. The whole thing is about the body system. And so if your body system is able to withstand the vaccine, then that at that instant you may not be able to feel too much pain or too much symptoms that will make you to become down. At that instant, the next day, my arm, okay, had swollen. A little bit of it had swollen. I didn't know what really happened, but I realized that it had swollen and it was difficult for me to raise up my hand a bit. This was one of the main symptoms I had during after the vaccine that I took. So I couldn't really raise up my hands very well, and I was feeling very, very hot. I was sweating. Okay, I was sweating. I didn't know what was really happening to me. I was sweating, so I decided to take a bath. That because I was feeling this headache before the vaccination, I decided to stop taking the drugs so that I would not worsen issue of having too much symptoms or worsening the case. And they also told me that whenever I have any feeling or any bad feeling and I'm not feeling too good, it is best I visit the hospital and then explain my issue to them for them to know what they can do about it. So guys, if you are being vaccinated for the first time, you need to make sure that you keep yourself very, very healthy. It doesn't mean that once you are vaccinated, you cannot contact the disease. Here you can contact. The most important thing is that because you have been vaccinated, when you are having COVID in you, you cannot when you are having COVID, at least the vaccination can really fight against it for a period of time before when it gets out of hands, then you can go to the hospital. But that is the essence of the vaccination. However, it doesn't mean that you would allow yourself to get infected before you go for vaccination. No, that's not the good thing. So it's good you vaccinate yourself, and then once you have been vaccinated, it helps you to build the antibodies in your system and make you very strong and to be able to withstand whatever disease that will come on your way. And then let's make sure that we still keep on wearing our nose masks and obey the instructions about the COVID protocols and everything, just to make us to stay healthy and to make us strong. So I believe these things are things that people may have gone through, and sometimes it may not be the same thing. Sometimes too, it may be worse than what I went through. But I don't know. My arm was swollen. I felt a little bit of warmness in me. I was too hot and I couldn't really. I was restless. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do, and my throat too was really paining me. I didn't really know what was happening to my throat. I didn't know what was happening to my throat. But it's good that at the end I've been able to survive and still standing, and that is good news, because when you lose your life, you cannot come back again. That's how life is. That is why you need to live it once and make sure you handle your life very well, because it is very important. Life is just like an egg. When it falls down, that is all, you lose it. So let's keep ourselves very healthy. Let us obey the instructions against COVID, and then let's do everything that we need to do to become healthy and strong. All right, so kindly subscribe to my channel so that VAL Life Skills, there are a lot of interesting contents that will be coming. And so if you wouldn't like to be left out of these interesting contents, then smash the like button and then smash the subscribe button, and give me your comments on what you went through when you were vaccinated. Share your view and let's all talk about it. Bye bye. Meet next time.